Well, hello and welcome to the University of Florida, St. Lucie County Extension, Solutions for Your Life. Today, I have with me Kate Rotendo, who is our Urban Horticulture Agent, Kate O'Neill, who is our Master Gardener Coordinator, and Dale Galliano, Master Gardener Extraordinaire. Thank you all three for being here today, and it's getting on to Christmas time, isn't it? And, you know, I can always remember some of the best gifts that I ever received were gifts that were made from my friends, just not simply bought and then given to me, but gifts that came from the garden, or gifts that really came from the heart. And I think today this is what we're going to talk about, are some of those really crafty things that you can do to just make that gift for your friend or your wife a little bit more special. So I think what I would like to do is first, maybe Dale, if we start with
Sure.
you have some things in front of you, and if you could just kind of explain what it is and how you did it.
Not a problem. We have teacups. I think that's a thing of the past, but everybody seems to have teacups. But they can be a purpose for the holidays really nicely because of the fact that we can make butterfly feeders. Now, this is a simple teacup. I've glued on the spoon here. Now, inside this cup, I have put Florida soil. Now, we know that that's not always, it's not bag goods or whatever. It's just go out, dig a little bit, put it in here. All the minerals, all of the different things that the butterflies need in order to survive are in that soil. So we've put a couple little stones on top. It will be moist. They'll get their moisture. They will get their minerals and vitamins, and you can always have that tucked nicely into the garden, and where they're very nicely protected, and they can get their, well, if you give them water, if you give them minerals, they'll stay in your yard. So that's always a nice thing to have to put together.
So is there anywhere particularly in the landscape you want to put that?
You have to kind of think of where they will be safe, that they won't be nervous, like a little tucked away in a little vignette of some sort, which is really nice. And it's also nice to have it in a place where as you're turning a corner in a garden, you see that little pop of color, and it's kind of nice. I also have, excuse me, you can put it on a stick.
Oh,
Paint
so
something
that's
up.
what that's
Thank you,
for.
Kate.
Okay.
And we put it right there, and you can put it within the shrubs and that sort of thing, which will be kind of nice. So you have this as an eye-catching thing, and you can have the kids paint it for grandma. You can paint it yourself nicely for anybody. So it's kind of a good thing. So you have it that way. Also with teacups, I had happened to find...
So let's get back
sorry.
to, that's just an old bedpost with a iron rod on the bottom of it. How creative is that?
Bury it, stick it, and there you have it. You have everything.
And you can move it if you need to.
If you need to,
All
as
right.
far as that, as your landscape changes. Also, I found this at a garage sale. That's a cute little thing. And I put a succulent in it. This is a lovely thing that you could give to a teacher. This is a nice little thing to give to, as a hostess gift. Taking part of your garden, putting it in, and it's kind of a fun thing to have that can be for the garden, for the desk. It's lightweight. Succulents don't require much care. It's just a spray of water every blue moon.
I was going to say succulents, are good gifts because they're easy for folks. They're really low maintenance because some people are afraid to kill that beautiful plant that you've given them. But succulents, they look cool and they're easy.
And not only can you do it with a teacup, you could do it with any little found object, or it could be something that you also own that you want to share with another person, and maybe you treasure it and now you want to hand it on to somebody else. And add a little succulent, add another little plant of some sort, which is all great fun.
Yeah, and the succulents you can find pretty readily. Easy to find in a number of stores, right?
Exactly. Just about anywhere. They're getting really big. And you could be a little cactus, too, or something. Something that's kind of fun for anybody. You get a little
colorful,
throw a ribbon on it, and everybody will be happy with it.
Got a gift.
All right, Kate, why don't we go over to you for a little bit? What do you have in front of you? It looks like you're ready for dinner here.
I'm
with all
ready
these
for
napkins
dinner.
and everything.
Yes, I'm ready for dinner or a special party. Actually, here I have just some magnolia leaves that my sweet neighbor has a beautiful magnolia tree that me and the dog last night on our walk went and picked a few leaves off of the tree. The reason I chose magnolia is they last for a really long time. Once you pick them off the tree, they have this really shiny cuticle that goes over that leaf, and they're really fuzzy on the back, so they hold their moisture really well, and they're not going to crumble onto a table. But the fun thing about these is that you can use them. This is just an example of a cloth napkin, maybe at a table setting, put a little ribbon on it. I've made some where I've taken some necklace pot, which is a native Florida. Butterflies love necklace pot. It's a nice small shrub, small to medium shrub that grows really well here. But these are actually the seed pods that came off the necklace pod in my yard, and I put my or Kate's name on the magnolia leaf, maybe as a table setting for a party. Maybe you're having a holiday party or birthday. I've seen some of this, bringing the outdoors in, used at weddings, receptions. This is just another one. I put Dale's name on there with the necklace pod, but using just some simple twine, kind of a rustic look with your napkin. But yeah, the magnolia leaves we thought were a good example to show because they're available. Most trees that have hopefully lower hanging branches that you can grab some of those leaves and make some table settings. So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Christmas wreaths made
Yes.
out of magnolia
Yeah.
leaves. Ever seen that? I had a friend that did that. In fact, he just shipped them out all over the world.
Yeah.
The
doing
grapevine,
it.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of options. Yep.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, absolutely. And the necklace pod again. So you're kind of recycling your stuff out of the
Right.
yard, right?
And then if Dale wanted to take this home and start her seeds
Yeah,
after the
there you
party
go.
was over, or you just throw those back out in your compost or your seed pile, and hopefully those little necklace pods come up.
It's
But-
a beautiful plant because it's
Yeah.
a bright yellow, so it's a nice
Yeah.
sharing,
It is,
sharing
it is.
Of a native plant.
yeah, so you get to share some seeds after you share a meal. Maybe they get to take that.
And the
little piece
leaves
home.
on those plants are really nice and soft
Furry.
and
Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
velvet.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely, yes.
Yeah,
so we're not master gardeners or horticulturists, sorry here.
plant nerds.
We have one, but we don't.
Kate, what are we looking at right here? That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a pretty creative idea. One of our master gardeners, Judy Kaufman, came up with this idea. She's very creative, very artistic, and it's quite easy to get hold of corks. If you don't drink wine, I'm sure some of your friends or family do.
Somebody
Got a couple
does.
hundred hanging around.
And so she kept the corks, and what she did was she glued them together. So there's 3 corks glued together. She put a little bit of rope around it with some colorful shells, some sphagnum moss on here, and then she just put a little, this is an air plant, it's called a tillandsia. You can get these from different nurseries. Something you might be familiar with is like the bromeliads, like we have on the table as well. Those can be used. Or even Kate's idea with the magnolia leaf. You could do that. When I saw this, I thought this would be really great during the holidays. If you wanted to put it on a table setting in front of your friends or family that are staying, you have it in front of them, right? And you could have maybe their name on it with a plant, and then they could go home with that and leave with it. So it's really neat. So they leave with something, you
Yeah,
know?
a little
I
gift.
like to do that around the holidays. I always put a little gift in front of the place setting. And I loved this idea when I saw it, and inexpensive and readily available. So I thought that was a really wonderful idea. I loved that. It's great.
All right. Yeah, nice. Now, we have here, a lot of folks like to compost. I mean,
Yes.
they do it. It's a big thing, but sometimes you'll have your compost pile way out back, and you'll have things that you don't, you're going to say, well, I wish if I could compost them in the kitchen than
Right.
I would.
Right.
And that's just a wonderful idea right there, And
It's a simple little dollar store pail
Yeah.
that has been painted. It's kind of a little bit nicer looking on the countertop other than just a
Yeah.
can. And
Yeah.
and it's something that you can carry out to your compost bin, which is really nice. But it's a fun thing, and you can paint these up again as presents. People can really enjoy them because of the fact that when you do have your evening scraps from your salad and
That's it, yeah.
and it's pouring rain outside, the last thing you need is to be trying to figure out what to do with it. Putting it in this, you can put a lid of some sort on it, and it can hold until the next day till you can get it to your compost
I
pile.
want one for my kitchen because my compost bin is not as pretty. So yes, that's definitely on my list.
On your list, there you go.
this one
Yeah.
is a Galliano Original, huh?
Yeah.
So it's got to be worth something, right?
There you have it. There you have it. Yeah, it's for fish. For someone that likes those little fish, I think it was kind of bright and fun. So,
Okay. Kate, what do we have here? This
Sure.
is just beautiful. Look
Dale
at
created this little one so she can walk us through it or help me out a little bit. But I think we've talked a little bit about this before, that these wreaths that come, pre-made from craft stores, you can get those. And what Dale has done is put some really fun, beautiful seed packets around the wreath. What Dale and I talked about before is the cool thing about this is you can change it. You can change it to be more of, maybe you're looking for those holiday colors or Christmas colors, or maybe you're looking for the springtime and Easter time or another holiday that has a certain color scheme to it that you can change it up. She's got some annual flowers here that just look really bright. To me, this is sort of springtime celebration, but really cool. These are something that you could definitely give as a gift, and then that person could possibly change those out. The seed packets, I know Ed and I have talked about seed catalogs. Some of the seed packets have beautiful artwork on them.
They do.
And so to display them sort of in a wreath like this, I think would be kind of fun.
and you can add just about anything
Yeah.
to the wreath, whether it be a trowel or a seed spreader or any of these other little things that are available. You can put them on the wreath as a fun thing to add. And the bow there is kind of some raffia, and it's from bulbs that I've had, and onions and
Right.
that sort of thing.
I was
You
gonna
sort
say
of
that
make-
looks
it's
like-
kind of- but they're also nice things to have on the wreath if you want to use them to cover up fruit that you may have on a tree that you want to save for yourself versus some of the critters.
So is the wreath itself made, or did you purchase that? How did that?
I did purchase that, but they're very easy to make, even with pine straw.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Pine
Yep.
straw is kind of nice, and then you have pine cones make some wonderful wreaths. You can bring a lot of that outside stuff and really enjoy it in a wreath that you can kind of add and subtract to according to the gardener and to the person that you're giving it to,
Well, if we're going to attract butterflies to our yard, we should probably also attract birds.
Definitely.
So is that what we have right here?
Yeah, that looks like it's a little feeder and a little birdhouse, sorry. And it was made out of bamboo. So if you look, I'm going to turn upside down. You can see like the base of it here.
Oh, okay.
And then it was painted, and then a little terracotta saucer was added to the top, glued, and then just a little piece of wood here. So this way the bird can stand on here, or whatever little critter wants to get in there, because we want to attract certain birds, and that never really happens, does it?
Right.
And then you
Lizards.
can just tie it with just this little wire here that you can get from any big box store, and secure it. Or you don't even have to do that. Maybe you want to just set it on, maybe you've got an old snag or a tree stump in your yard. You can even set it on that. Or to me, I really like it. I would just put it out as a decorative piece because it's really pretty. So I like that. And again, all repurposed, recycled stuff, very inexpensive and creative.
So how is this attached into the bamboo? How is
It's drilled.
it just drilled? You
Yeah.
just kind of drill a little hole and,
And
then put the
drill a
wire in
hole
there.
with a screw, and then tie the wire to the screw.
Very
Yeah, it's
clever.
amazing what you can do with some wire and some of the, like the fish hook swivels.
Exactly.
But what I really like about that one too is that bamboo comes in such crazy shapes and sizes that you could do, that one is a, 12-inch or so, but you can get really tall pieces of bamboo.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the fun thing about making something like that, is that there's no rules really. You could make it, however you want it to look. But yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, and they come, and I love the bamboo also, and they have the the nodes in it
Yeah,
too, so it
yeah.
gives it some kind of definition as
Yeah.
well. It's not completely flat.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels like it's nice.
Well, I think Ed, at the beginning when we talked about, these are totally different gifts than what you would get at the store.
Sure.
That's something that even if you made exactly another one, it's never going to look exactly the same. And so it's a
Right.
one-of-a-kind piece that, somebody could really appreciate in their garden.
And remember you by.
Yeah.
That's what I think is
Yeah.
the really cool thing. I
Yeah.
remember a couple of years ago we made terrariums for everyone.
That's
and we
cool.
just,
Yeah.
you know,
Excellent.
again, we used succulents and, you know, we had the glass bowls and everything. And we put all the little pebbles in it. But, you know, my friends to this day, when I go over to their house, you can, you know, it's still there. And it's something that, you know, you've taken a little bit extra time and care and love to show to that
For those
person.
special people.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really popular, I don't know if you've heard of the fairy gardens. So, you know, you take these terracotta, this is the saucer, but the actual pot, and you can break a piece off, and then you can make miniature little things in there. You know, you could take like this cork and create it into a little toadstool or something, and, you know, put the moss in there and make a little fairy garden. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah, those
pretty
are really
neat, too.
cool. Yeah.
So a lot of these ideas we can put on your Facebook page, on your Master
Yes,
Gardener
the Master
Facebook
Gardener
page, so
Facebook page, sure.
that'll be available. And let's talk a little bit about maybe the cost on some of these. It doesn't seem like it's going to be all that much, which is another good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you might have to put a little time into it, which isn't such a bad thing, right?
Well, sometimes when you put your hands to something, it comes out much better anyway because of the fact that it is yours and you're thinking of that person. So you can pick a simple thing like a teacup like this is very simple. A lot of ladies, we have them in our possession because grandmother had it, mother had it. Now nobody has this. We have these big mugs. But this is really quite beautiful because you can think of this as from that person. You can use it as this. You could also, I have done it where I've gone and gotten bud roses and put that in for a hostess gift and given that and anything from the garden you can take as far as your own, whether it be a bromeliad or anything like we have here. But a cost of this is, these are, I think I paid for this one, I think 50 cents.
Yeah.
So, and then I had the little pot and the succulent came from my garden. A lot of this stuff can be stuff that you already have
You don't
in
know it.
the house.
Right.
Whether you like it and you want to share it or you just want to get rid of it.
Right.
Or baskets are another thing. Everything comes in a basket.
Yeah.
So go out into your yard, take some of your plants, put them in pots with some bromeliads and anything you may have. And if you hand someone a basket of flowers for their garden, how wonderful is that? Because then it's there in their garden for you to be there all the time. I have plants that I got from master gardeners and friends that have either moved away or whatever, and I still have that plant, and I remember them with that plant that they've given me through the years. So it's kind of fun, and all these things. But nothing's really expensive. I'd say under $10 for everything that you see here.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this you may be able to find around the house, so a little imagination, and
this.
they don't take a long time to make. I mean, you can.
Oh, it's amazing what a glue gun can do.
Right,
Yeah.
I was going to say a glue gun, a little wire, some scissors, and twine.
Yes, and you're set.
imagination.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a rainy day.
Yep.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning, cup of
Yeah.
coffee type of
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
So, well, cool. Let's move over to this wire basket.
I actually brought this because if we could get the bromeliads
There you go.
also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is a pot that I made 5,000 years ago. And I've been shoving things into it for years as far as that is, whether it be, a plant or whatever. And these are bromeliads that I have, again, in the yard as far as that. But this is a simple little thing that I got. I think it was some kind of toiletry stuff.
Oh, yeah, like a
they
soap
soaps
stuff.
and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. And it's really quite lovely. But if you stick a plant in there, you'd be surprised how all of a sudden this nothing turns into something. This is also great to put a bigger bromeliad, let's say bigger than this or whatever, but we have it, let's say like this. I'm not doing very well with that, but let's say we have something like this. This wire thing can go right into the garden. Have them tie it to a tree, and then this will just flow over, which will be a wonderful thing. But again, it's a matter of taking a simple wire basket, taking a pot that maybe you did or you found somewhere, and adding the outside into it. A lot of these things that we have, it doesn't have to be the ultra deluxe thing. A lot of people say, "Oh, I have no black thumb." Well, they usually kill things with kindness. So if you give
So
them
bromeliads are a
bromeliads
good,
are easy as
they're
far as that.
easy,
Even
yeah.
orchids are very easy because those things, if you just leave them alone,
Leave them
they'll
alone.
do beautifully. So you can
Yeah.
always find a nice plant, something in a favorite color of the person or that, and stick it into a basket or a container that you already have. So they're great fun.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you putting any sphagnum moss or anything like that in here?
Excellent thing, Ed. Yes, you would put sphagnum moss in here, maybe a little soil in there, depending on the plant that you're choosing. Or you could just use this, like with a bromeliad. You really don't need very much with it, but it would jazz it up a great deal, and then you throw a ribbon on it, and I mean, you have everything. It could be the best thing in the world. But yes, sphagnum moss would be very good. Add a little bit of soil if you want bag goods, or even local soil. Our soil, everybody's upset about Florida soil, but it's ours, and we get some beautiful things from it. So we're in the subtropics here. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
Use what we can,
Yeah.
yes. But you would jazz different things up as far as that.
That's right. It makes us such great gardeners is that we can grow stuff in Florida soils.
That's right.
That's a challenge.
365
5
days
days
a
a
That's
year.
right.
Year
We make
round,
other
yes,
people
year
jealous.
round.
You know,
Yeah.
when it is December and January, we make other people jealous with the things that we can grow.
So we're eating our lettuce.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Cut and come again.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
Absolutely. All right, well, Kate, let's move over to you. What do we?
Okay.
Let's look at this next.
Dale brought these pretty little tins in that you painted, correct?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So these are, you know, just one of these, whether thrift store, I know you talked about garage sale, thrift stores, craft stores, sometimes have these, you know, really basic kind of containers. But Dale has painted some pine cones on these. These are all different sizes, but again, these are really nice because they're not a traditional like pot per se for a plant, but something like some sphagnum moss, a little bit of soil, maybe some bromeliads, the succulents again, some of those easier plants for people, because I know sometimes people get a little bit intimidated, like we said, you know, with plants that are harder to maintain or something, but there's lots of plant species that are really easy to use in some of these containers, and that's something that the Master Gardeners can definitely help folks out with if they ever have questions about what plants to use, that kind of thing.
Well, like Kate says, and those are nice little containers that you can do fairy gardens in, or like a little rock garden with interesting little miniatures in it.
Sure.
And in stores and things even if it's putting a little soldier in there with you
It's
can
just
find
fun,
all sort
yeah.
of fun things in order to
Yeah.
share, you know, like
Yeah.
as far as that. Those containers can also be used after if you put a plant in it. Maybe it's going to end up in an office for pens and pencils
Sure.
or whatever the case may be. Or wrap something up like a nice baked good, or make some herb cookies that you
Yeah.
have from your herbs that
From
you
your
have in your garden.
garden,
Basil cookies or mint cookies and that kind of thing that you've made through the holidays. It'd be nice to wrap them up in something like that too from your garden
Yeah,
for
that's a good
sharing.
idea.
And what I also like about these is that it doesn't necessarily need to be a holiday gift. It could be a
No.
4th of
This is
July gift
sure,
where you,
year-round.
you know, like you say, you
Yeah.
put a flag on it with the little soldier or
Yeah.
something like that. And also, I've seen in stores that, you know, some of us aren't as creative or artistic or talented as you are. And
not get
and
carried
others
away.
are, and others are. But you can go in and you can find like really cool looking stickers and stuff like that you can put on that instead of painting it, right?
Well, a perfect example is this on the, excuse me, Kate, with the
House.
house. I'll be all right. This is stencils.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
stencils. She has put stencils on this, sprayed different colors. This is not a hand painted and get a little
Sure.
brush.
I was
or
wondering
whatever.
about that.
This is just stencils, different types of stencils that have been put on, spray painted, and so you have a very different look. And something very interesting. So it doesn't have to. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be any
So
of
I
that
could
sort of
do
stuff. You could do
Everybody
that. Yes.
has that
Everybody has
creativity.
a talent of some sort, even if it's finding the
Yeah.
right stencil to do
To
it.
put it.
And
Spray paint, yeah,
And
add
spray
that to
paint.
the list of the wire and the hot glue gun.
Exactly.
Spray paint can be amazing.
Yeah.
You can do really
You
cool
can do all
things.
sorts of things,
Yep.
just muddling them up as far as that shading
Yeah.
it. So you can pretty well do anything. It's not, and again, we're not talking about great expense. I like different blues, and everybody has their own niche, and that as far as within their gardens and within their likes. And then if you know somebody's favorite color, You can buy a can of paint for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
You can give them everything in pink or give everything.
There's a gift, glue gun paint combination, right?
Yeah, there you have it. You know? When all else fails,
Tools of the
hit it
trade.
with paint. Yes, it is tools of the trade. And you also with the wreath, it was interesting that you can also hand it with a catalog, a seed catalog.
Oh, there you go.
that
Yeah.
This is what I've picked for you, but here's all kinds of other fun things that you may
Right.
be able to pick from, and whether doesn't necessarily have to be flowers. It can be vegetables, it can be
Right.
herbs, and that sort of thing. So
Yeah, it's sort of like a couple gifts in one, where you've maybe chosen some herbs that say
Exactly.
they can put in their garden, but you've put them in the wreath, and then they can take it apart and start their garden. So yeah, I really like this one because there's a lot of things you could do.
You'd have different packets of seeds for different seasons so that you have
Exactly.
color in your garden.
Yep.
Hopefully all year long.
Yeah.
and add a little book to it or whatever, or even the IFAS website with, put it on there that they can put
Go
it down
here,
and go
right.
directly to
Yep.
the IFAS site as far as the vegetables
Yeah.
and the when, the how, and all that sort of stuff. So we're able to do it right the first time.
That's right.
Well, these are just beautiful, wonderful, and again, inspiring gifts for friends that you consider, good friends, and it means a little bit more to be able to do programming or to do projects like this. So we have a little time left, and let's kind of go around the table, and we'll start. Kate, what do you have coming up programmatically? I understand that
We'll have-
you'll have the Master Gardener training going to start up again?
Yes, the Master Gardener training starts right after the beginning of the year, so we'll get through the holidays, and then Kate and I will hit the ground running with Master Gardener training. We do that for 12 weeks, every Tuesday, so that's going to be really fun. Have a great group of people that join us. It's always nice to have new students every year to join the program. We'll be doing probably some vegetable gardening programs.
Yep.
Plant sales or at the farmers market. It's busy time of year and season. A lot of the folks that live up north will be back down here, so we'll be hitting the ground running and providing things for them to do.
So if you were interested in taking the Master Gardener curriculum,
Yes.
We can call you
Yes.
in your office. We have that phone number. Also be on your Facebook page, I would
Yes,
imagine.
absolutely. We have the Master Gardeners, St. Lucie County Master Gardeners have a Facebook page, so make sure you like that. We put a lot of information up there because social media is just the way to go. We get a lot of response from that, so everything that we'll do goes up on that site.
Okay. Kate, what are you going to be up to?
Oh boy, let's see. Kate O'Neill said about the Master Gardener training program. We will have a very busy 12 weeks. We have some great volunteers every year that we get to teach, and they get to graduate to be new Master Gardeners. So we'll be doing that for the 12 weeks, so that keeps us busy. We'll probably be doing some vegetable programming through the winter and spring season. Plant sales, the St. Lucie County Fair will be there to have a booth.
February, yeah.
In February. We'll be out there, and into the spring we'll be doing the Master Gardener plant sale. But the fair is really fun. We're there, I guess, every day. We'll be there at the booth providing some research-based information for folks that want some help in their garden or have questions. Like Kate said, there's the St. Lucie County Master Gardener Facebook page. There's the St. Lucie County the St. Lucie County Urban Horticulture Facebook page that folks can check with programming coming in and out, what we're up to. So yeah, if they keep in touch with us, that way things that we are providing for residents of St. Lucie County, they can definitely get involved with that.
All right. Well, I want to thank all three of you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Great ideas.
pleasure.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yes.
Happy
Yeah.
holidays.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we'll look forward to seeing you all come Master Gardener training.
That's right.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you,
you.
Ed.